We're now going to move into tip number 3, which Joe already mentioned is kind of the sister to tip number 2. So, sorry, I had a sneeze coming on, but it disappeared. I was like, do I need to mute so that everyone doesn't hear it? Okay. So it's kind of the sister to tip number 2, where we're customizing that browsing experience. For tip number 3, we're filtering and refining our searches so that we can find the books that we like faster. So for this tip, I give a little prompt just so you can see how this might go. So let's say tomorrow I want to go on a road trip with my mom to see Dollywood. We're going to go on a road trip to Dollywood. For our road trip, I need an audiobook. It's not legal to read and drive yet, so let's make sure that our format is in audio. I want it to be available now. That's because our road trip is tomorrow. So I don't want to find any books that I'm going to have to place a hold on. I want this to be my mom's favorite genre. Like usually I try to pick, but tomorrow I'm going to give it to her. She is a mystery historical fiction reader. So we want a mystery historical fiction book. And then she is also a voracious reader. So we need it to be a new release because she's probably already read all of the old stuff. So audiobook available now, mystery historical fiction, and a new release. Those are the 4 pieces of criteria that I want this search to meet. So to start this search, what I'm going to do is tap on one of these filters up at the top of the list. If I'm not looking at curated collections that the library is putting together for me down at the bottom, this is typically where I start my searches. It's one of my favorite ways. So one of those criteria that I put was available now, right? We need it to be available now. So let's go ahead and start on that filter. I'm going to tap on available now. And up at the top here, you can see I'm looking at available titles in English. Remember, in tip number 2, we set that English preference. So Libby is only showing me titles in English. Then right here, it's showing us this is listing 38,000 books, 21,000 audiobooks, and 2,000 magazines. So we could be here all day looking for an audiobook for my mom and I to listen to, but let's narrow this down. I'm first going to tap on audiobooks here. This is going to filter out the books and magazines. So I'm just going to tap on that, and you'll see now that is only listing the 21,000 audiobooks. So 2 criteria down. We're looking at what's available, and now we're looking at audiobooks. So now all we need to do is find the mystery historical fiction titles and then the new releases. So to do that, we're going to come over to refine. I'm going to tap on refine here. And this is going to give us a little drop-down menu. So you might notice these are the exact same categories as preferences. And you might think, well, how is this any different? So preferences are sticky and will continue to filter all of your lists until you change them again. So you saw I set a preference earlier and my list is still just showing me English titles. So sticks and stays. Refining, on the other hand, is temporary and for the search that you're making right at that moment. So here for refine, let's go ahead and choose subject. Remember, she likes mystery historical fiction. So first I'm going to come down to mystery and I'll tap on that. That drops us from 21,000 to 2,800 books. I'm going to come back to refine and I'm going to choose that second subjects. My mom doesn't just like to read mysteries. She wants them to be wearing poofy dresses and corsets while they're doing it. So we're going to come down to historical fiction and tap on that. You can see that number has now dropped to 205. So I like to show this tip here so that you know you can find niche subjects. You're not just limited to searching mystery titles or historical fiction titles. You can choose multiple subjects to really filter down that list and find those niche subjects. So these are titles that are both mystery and historical fiction. I'm going to come down to refine one more time. Because remember, my mom, she's probably read all the older stuff. We need to make sure this list is showing us the new titles up at the top. So I'm going to come down to sort by. And instead of sorting by popularity, I'm going to come down to release date instead. That's going to show us the newest titles here at the top. And then as we make our way down the list, those will get older. So that is tip number 3, filtering and refining your searches so that you can find the books that you like faster.